All right, let's get right into it. We're tracking a really big weather event hitting Thailand right now. It's called Typhoon Kalmaegi, and it's the first major storm of 2025 to actually make landfall. So let's break down what the forecasts are telling us. When forecasters on the ground boil it down to just two words, you really have to pay attention. Tuam ne. Definitely flooding. I mean, it doesn't get much more direct than that. It's a super urgent warning, and it really sets the tone for just how serious this storm is as it starts moving across the country. Okay, so what exactly is this storm Kalmagi? I mean, where did it come from? And why is everyone saying it's such a big deal for Thailand this year? To really get a handle on the potential impact, we've got to understand the storm itself first. Right, so let's talk about why this storm is so important. Look, this isn't just your average heavy rain. The big thing about Kalmagi is that it's the first active storm of the whole year to hit Thailand, and that alone makes it something we absolutely need to keep a close eye on. And this storm, it's got a pretty wild backstory. Kalmagi actually started way out in the Pacific. And get this, at its peak, it was a monster Category 4 typhoon. Now sure, it's weakened a lot after crossing Vietnam and Laos, but here's the crucial part. It's the first storm of 2025 to arrive in Thailand while it's still an active, organized system, a tropical depression. And what does that mean? It means it's still packing a serious punch, carrying a ton of energy and just a massive amount of moisture. So to put a number on it, right before it crossed over from Laos, the winds were hitting about 44 kilometers per hour. Now you might think, hey, that's not typhoon-level winds. And you're right, it's not, but that's more than enough power to fuel what everyone's really worried about, torrential flooding rains. That's the main threat here, for sure. Okay, so we've got a sense of the storm's power. Let's start tracking its path right from the very beginning. The whole story of its impact on Thailand kicks off in the northeast, in the region they call Isan. Officially, the storm center crossed into Thailand at Khong Chiam in Ubon Ratchathani, right around noon. But here's the thing, that's just the official landfall. The reality is, this storm's presence was felt way before then. We're talking widespread, heavy rain that had already been drenching the entire region for hours. It just goes to show you the massive scale of this thing. All right, now we get to the heart of it. Where is the storm going next? And this is where things get really, really interesting. Forecasters are looking at a long, pretty complicated journey that's going to play out over the next few days. So just look at this timeline. It shows this long, almost bizarre path the storm is expected to take. It cuts across Isan, moves into the north, and then it does something really weird around November 9th. It's actually predicted to pop over into Myanmar for a bit before looping back into Thailand. It's this crazy looping path that's going to make its impact felt over such a huge area. Okay, let's zoom in and get a bit more detailed. We're looking at what's called the ECMWF model. That's the European forecast model, one of the best in the world. And it's the one projecting this wild, multi-stage journey for the storm, dragging it through a massive part of the country. This really breaks down that complex path we were just looking at. But, and this is a really interesting detail, not all the computer models are on the same page. So the European model we've been following, that's the one with a long looping path. But another major one, the UK model, thinks the storm will be much weaker and fizzle out way sooner. So, you might ask, why are the authorities basing their plans on the more severe one? Well, in these situations, you always prepare for the worst-case scenario. It's all about keeping people safe. So, keeping those forecasts in mind, what are the officials telling people on the ground? Let's take a look at the warnings that have gone out across the country. Yeah, the Thai Meteorological Department has put out a really clear color-coded warning system. You've got 9 provinces in the northeast in the red zone. That means the highest possible risk for heavy, even very heavy rain. But look, the impact is way bigger than just that. Dozens of other provinces, pretty much all over the country, are under a yellow alert. So even if you're not in the red, you've definitely got to be on your toes. And get this, the storm's reach goes even further than its direct path. Way down in the south, Kalmaegi is basically supercharging the regular southwest monsoon. That means the south is going to see more rain too, and maybe more importantly, it's making the seas really dangerous. We're talking waves up to 2 or 3 meters high in the Andaman Sea. The advice is crystal clear. If you have a small boat, stay ashore. Just don't go out. Okay, wow, that's a lot to take in, I know. So let's boil it all down. What are the absolute most important takeaways? What are the key dangers that people really need to be watching out for? So what does this actually look like for people on the ground? Well, the biggest danger is just water, in every form. Flash floods are, without a doubt, the #1 worry. But officials are also warning people to watch out for forest runoff and even landslides, especially in hilly areas. The message for anyone in the storm's path is simple. Keep a very close eye on water levels and take every precaution you can.
So, we have the forecast models giving us a pretty good idea of the path, and we have the official warnings telling us about the risks. But as this storm slowly grinds its way across the country over the next few days, the big question is still hanging in the air. Just how big will the impact be in the end? Really, the only thing to do is to stay informed, listen to the authorities, and stay safe. Thanks for tuning in.